So we've partnered with UNSW Employability for the last few years, really to provide research services that look at student attitudes, their needs, and their behaviours with regards to employability. The research has covered a wide range of different audiences. We've spoken to current and prospective students, domestic and international students, undergrads and postgrads. So today I'm just going to give you a very brief overview of some of the data that we collected from over 800 UNSW students. We've got a good mix of domestic and international students, and the data was collected in 2021 and 2022. So the students were invited to complete these surveys via an email from UNSW and via society events, and we had a really good response rate, and we've got a really nice big sample to look at. In terms of some of the key profile attributes, we've got a really good spread of age. And in terms of year of study, importantly, we haven't just spoken to students who are coming to the end of their studies, for whom we may expect employability would be more top of mind. We've got a really good mix of first years, second years, third and fourth years. And we've got a representative profile of the student body by faculty. All right, so we asked students, well, when you finish your studies, what sectors are you considering for employment? And we found that almost all do have specific employment sectors in mind, with tech the most popular. But what I really like about this chart is that down at the bottom, we see only 2% that didn't know. So for 98% of students, they've got an idea of what sector they want to work in once they graduate. And we can see that technology, including engineering, is up there at the top, followed by commerce and government. It's quite interesting, though, when we look at that information by current faculty of study. And we can see that while students clearly have a chosen discipline, they're thinking more broadly, they're thinking outside their faculty. So, for example, the blue bars at the top, we're looking at students who are currently in engineering. And yes, we can see that most of those students expect to work in engineering and technology, but we've also got 20% who are thinking of government and 20% who are thinking of entrepreneurialism. Similarly, if we skip down to the pink bars, so there are arts, design and architecture students, about half of them are thinking that they'll go into the creative industries. But we've got about a third thinking government and about a quarter thinking education. So this to me really highlights that students are interested in transferable skills. They're thinking broadly. They're considering a range of sectors for employment. And for businesses, it shows that grads can bring a range of skills and interests, not just purely in the specific field in which they've done their studying. Two outliers to this worth a mention are medicine and health and law and justice. They're not shown on this chart because almost all of those students are considering employment in their very specific chosen discipline. This information on this page is just looking at our international students, and we asked where in the world they would like to work once they graduate. And we can see that 9 in 10 of them expect to work in Australia, at least for some time. And we know that Australia needs to address skills gaps, and international graduates are potentially a worthwhile investment. And for international companies, graduates could do a program here in Australia and then transfer to an overseas office. Let's look now at some student attitudes towards employability. So first up, we see that employability is a top priority for students. 92% agree that a successful career requires more than academic knowledge. We know that they're looking for tangible outcomes. There's certainly been a lot of information in the media recently about students, trading off the cost of further education versus what they actually get from it. We also see that students value exploring career options that align with their personal values. So 93% agree that it's important to them that their career after university fits with their personal values and goals. And 89% agree that it's important to explore different career options while they're studying. So this confirms that value-based decision-making is important, and it's a key driver in determining where students go and what they do. So what are some of the benefits that students think employability programs and services offer them? Well, first of all, they really recognise that this is a valuable use of their time. It's a valuable opportunity for them to engage in employability programs and services. So 3/4 agree that such engagement with programs would supplement the knowledge and skills they gain at university with that really important real-world experience. 2/3 agree that it would help them make better career choices. And only 29% said that they're more focused on getting academic knowledge than job-ready skills. And what we see is that the benefits of investing their time in these programs outweigh the actual time investment required when they're busy doing everything else in their lives. Only 20% said they didn't think university employability programs would make a significant difference to their job prospects after university. And only 18% said they don't want to invest the extra time required to participate in university employability programs. So the key takeaway from this is that students do recognise the value and the richness that these employability programs provide, but also that they're engaging in these opportunities early on in their careers. And if businesses want to engage with top talent, they need to engage with them early. We found that most students have participated in an employability program, so 76%, but strikingly 96% intend to do so in the future. So almost all of them looking to take advantage of the programs and services that the UNSW offers. So in our surveys, we did some concept testing and we introduced students to 7 UNSW employability programs, ranging from industry products and placements, networking events, leadership programs, study abroad programs. We gave them a little bit of information about each one and measured their interest and how likely they would be to participate in such a program. And we found that students are most receptive to programs that connect them to industry. So 63% said they would be likely to participate in industry projects or placements. 52% said they would be likely to participate in networking events, and almost half in employability seminars. We also included a framework in our analysis that helps us understand the motivations that lie behind this interest and engagement in employability. And we use something called the Graduate Capital Framework to understand those student motivations. And it basically splits motivations into a number of different pillars. So we've got human, social, cultural, psychological, and identity. And statements within the survey align to each of those pillars within the model. And if we just have a look at the motivations underlying those 2 main areas of interest, so industry projects and placements, so the primary motivation for participating in those is around human capital. And by that we mean that students will gain job-ready skills and capabilities, and that they will get experience in their chosen career before I finish university. That's their number 1 motivation for engaging in industry projects and placements. The secondary motivation is around identity capital. And by that we mean it'll help me decide about the type of job I want, and it'll help me learn about what prospective employers want. And just to finish, in terms of networking events, we see social capital coming through here. And that's around developing my ability to learn about building and sustaining peer relationships and providing opportunities to network with people who can help my career development. So I hope that's given you a nice snapshot of what students are thinking and feeling and needing. And I'll now hand over.